all of you, welcome to the session. This is Department of Collegiate on Technical Education, fifth, Machine Design for 5th semester. Subject code is 15ME 53T for Department of Mechanical Engineering. This is unit number 4, Design of Simple Machine Parts. Session number 8, Introduction to the Knuckle Joint. Once again, all of you, welcome to the session. So, design of knuckle joint. In this course, what are the objectives we are learn here? So, briefly we are brief discussion about the knuckle joint and applications of the knuckle joint, and third one is requirements of applicant joints and advantages of knuckle joints. These are the main objectives we are learning in this session. So what is the course outcomes in this session? So on successful completion of this unit, students can be able to understand the application and requirements of the knuckle joint and identify the different uses of the knuckle joint and design of a knuckle joint. So and simple problems on the based on knuckle joint. So these are the outcomes we are learning in the this knuckle joint. So definition of the knuckle joint. What is the definition says here? So knuckle joint is used to connect the two rods whose axes either coincide or intersect and lie in the same plane or one plane. And a knuckle joint is a mechanical joint. It is used to connect the two rods which are under a tensile load when there is a requirement of small amount of the flexibility. See the sketch here. This is the one of the fork end, single high fork end. This is the one eye end because of only one eye in this fork end. This is the single fork end. So this is the double fork eye end in double high. Observe here. So this is double fork eye, and this is the knuckle pin. So in this is the knuckle pin. We are in the small hole in for the tapering for inserting the collar and inserting the small taper pin. So this is the main parts of this knuckle joint. So this is the two eye end or fork end double because of double fork. This is the two eyes is there. So and this is the single eye. So this is the brief discussion about the parts of the knuckle joint. So this is the assemble part of the knuckle joint. See the observe here. So this is the double fork end. So double fork end. So small single high end fork end is inserted here, and we are knuckle pin and jointing for assemble for the knuckle pin, and is the we are inserting in collar and is a small pin inserted because of this in a safety purpose, and where is not disassemble for the working movement. So therefore we are using in a taper pin for the assembly of this type of knuckle joint. So this is the small amount of flexibility or in a angular movement is necessary. There is a always axial or linear line in the action of the load. So it is always working in the linear motion of the in the action of the to the load. So what are the applications of knuckle joint here? So joint between the tie bars in the roof trusses. This is one of the applications for using in knuckle joint, and joint between the links of suspension bridges. We are also using in knuckle joint. A joint in a valve mechanism of reciprocating engines, and fourth point is fulcrum of the levers. They also we are using, and joint between the links of bicycle chains. We are observing the bicycle chain. One link is on joint with another link is goes on continuously. We are joining of the chains. These are also we are using in knuckle joint. And so these are the advantages of the knuckle joint. The joint is simple to design and manufacture because of is a simple and manufacturing is easy. This is the one of the advantages for knuckle joint. There are few parts of a knuckle joint which reduces the cost and improves the reliability. So because of these are only few parts, only single eye and forked end, double forked end, one collar pin and collar, and only small taper pin we are inserting. This is the main parts of this knuckle joint, because of this is the less cost and improves the flexibility and reliability. And third one is the assembly or dismantling of the parts of knuckle joint is quick and simple, because of this is an easily assemble and disassemble of the knuckle joint, because of this only three or four parts. So because of this type, we are easy to assembling and disassembling. This is the main advantages of the knuckle joint. So these are the dimensions, various parts of the knuckle joint we are to calculate the each and every calculation of the knuckle joint. So first one is, if the D is the diameter of the rod, so this is the rod diameter, you can calculate it in the terms of D in mm. And second one is the diameter of the pin, so delta or D is equal to same. Then outer diameter of the high, D is equal to 2 times of D. And fourth one is the diameter of the knuckle pin head and collar, so this also C is equal to 1.5 D. And the thickness of the single high rod end is equal to, so we are calling as F is equal to 1 times of the D. So this is the diameter of the rod end. And the thickness of the fork, B is equal to 0.75 times of D. And seventh one is the thickness of the pin head, E is equal to 0.5 D. And thickness of the square section, S1 is equal to S is equal to 1 times D. These are main dimensions of we are calculating of the knuckle joint and designing of the knuckle joint. These are the requirements of basic dimensions. And ninth one is the collar diameter, C is equal to 1.5 times of D. And collar thickness is equal to E is equal to, we call as a E is 0.5 times of D. And taper pin solid or split is equal to, or 3/16 D to 1/4 D. This is the G is called as a 6 mm. And the distance H is equal to 0.8 times of D. And 13th one is thickness of the sections across the fork, A is equal to 0.6 times of D. And distance L is equal to 1.5 D to 2D. And distance from one high end to the center of the pin, L is equal to 4 times of D. And 16th one is the distance from the center to the fork end, D is equal to L1 is equal to 4 times of D. These are also basic information we are required to calculating of the design of the knuckle joint. And design of the knuckle joint, these are the methods of failure of the knuckle joint. Because of this calculated of the main parts were very important in the knuckle joint. If one part is failure, all the whole knuckle joint is failure of the in this case. So because we are calculating of the each and every one in the very carefully. So these are the methods of failure of the knuckle joint. Consider knuckle joint is as shown in the figure. So let P is the tensile load acting on the rod. We are so P is the load acting on the rod, and D is the diameter of the rod, and D1 is the diameter of the pin, and D2 is the outer diameter of the high, and 3 is the thickness of the single high, thickness of the single high fork end, and T1 is the double fork end thickness of the fork. Then sigma T, tau and delta C is the permeable stresses for the joint metal in tension, shear and crushing respectively. This is because of three very important for the calculation of the knuckle joint. Sigma T, tensile stress, shear stress and crushing stress, very important on each and every part in the failure of the knuckle joint. So these are the one by one checking for the failure of the solid rod in tension, whether checking failure of the solid rod in tension. So first one is since the rod is subjected to the direct tensile load, therefore the tensile strength of the rod is equal to pi/4 into D square into sigma T. D is the diameter of the rod, sigma T is the tensile stress. Then equating to this to load P acting on the rod, we have P is equal to load is equal to pi/4 D square into sigma T. For using this equation, we are checking of the tensile load in this equation, whether it is given value is less than that of calculating value. Therefore the so sigma T is less than that given value. Therefore in this case where tension of the failure of solid rod is safe. From this equation, diameter of the rod is obtained. And second one is failure of the knuckle pin shear. So since the pin in the shear double shear, therefore the cross sectional area of the pin under shearing. So this equals 2 into 5 by 4 into d1 square, and 2 one is the second one is, and the shear strength of the pin is equal to 2 into 5 by 4 d1 square into tau. So equating this load P acting on the rod, we have P is equal to 2 into 5 by 4 into d1 square into tau. From this equation, the diameter of the knuckle pin is obtained. So in this case, where diameter of the knuckle pin is calculating. So in previous one we are calculating of in this equation. So only finding of the diameter of the rod we are finding here. So in this case, we are checking of the knuckle pin in the shear. We are calculating of the knuckle pin in the shear. Third one is a failure of the single high rod in the tension. So in this tension, so the single high rod or rod end may be tear off due to the tensile load. We know that the area is resisting area for tearing out. Therefore, D is equal to capital D minus small d1 into F. So tearing strength of the single high or rod end is equal to capital D minus d1 into F into sigma T. So equating this to the load P, we have P is equal to capital D minus d1 into F into sigma T. So from this equation, in this induced tensile stress means sigma T induced tensile stress for the single high or rod end may be checked. In this case, we are only checking for the tensile load. In case of the induced tensile stress is more than that of the allowable working stress, then the increase of the outer diameter of the high, then D is going to be increasing. So in the calculation value of sigma T is less than that allowable stress, the failure of the single high rod is safe in this case of the tension. In fourth case, failure of the single high or rod end in the shearing. In this case, we are checking of the shearing strength of in the single high rod. The single high rod end may be in fail in the shearing due to the tensile load. We know that the area of resisting shearing is equal to d1 minus capital D minus small d1 into F. The shearing strength of the single high or rod end is equal to capital D minus small d1 into F into shearing. So this is the tau is the shear strength. Equating this load to P, we have, so P is equal to capital D minus d1 into F into tau. So we are checking in this case, we are only shearing strength. Whether it is shearing strength is given is less than that of allowable stress, the values of the failure of single rod is safe. From this equation, the induced shear stress tau for the single high or rod end may be checked. In this case, we are only checking for the shear stress in the single high rod end may be checked. So in fifth case, failure of the single high or rod end in crushing. In this case, we are checking in the crushing strength of the single high rod. Okay, we are checking here single high crushing strength. In the single high or pin may be fail in the crushing due to the tensile load. We know that the area of resisting is crushing is equal to d1 into F. So the crushing strength of the single high rod end, so this is equal to d1 into F into sigma C. So the equating this to the load P, we have P is equal to d1 into F into sigma C. So in this case, we are only checking for the crushing strength of the rod. From this equation, we know the in the induced crushing stress sigma C for the single high or pin may be checked in case the induced crushing stress in more than the allowable working stress, then increases the thickness of the single high. So in this case, we are only checking for the equation in the crushing stress. Next one is we are finding of the failure of the forked end in tension. So in previous we are checking for only single high rod. Single high we are checking in previous under tensile, crushing and shearing. So in this in sixth one we are checking of the forked end. In this case also we are checking 3 tension, sharing and crushing. We are checking each and every one in the failure of the forked end. The forked end or a double high may be fail in the tension due to the tensile load. We know that the area of resisting a tearing is equal to d1 capital D minus small d1 into 2 times of B. The tearing strength of the forked end is equal to d minus d1 into 2 times B into sigma t. The equating this is to the load P. We have P is equal to capital D minus small d1 into 2 times B into sigma t. From this equation, the induced tensile stress for the forked end may be checked. So this is the tensile stress of the forked end maybe is less than that of allowable. Given allowable stress, the tensile strength of the fork is a safe. So we go for 7th one is failure of the forked end in shear. The forked end may be fail in the shearing due to the tensile load. We know that the area of resisting shearing is equal to capital D minus small d1 into 2 times of B. The shearing strength of the forked end so is equal to D minus d1 into 2 times of B into tau. The equating this to the load P, we have P is equal to capital D minus small d1 into 2 times of B into tau. Tau means shear stress. In this equation, the induced stresses for the forked end may be checked. In case the induced shear stress is more than that of the allowable working stress, then the thickness of the fork may be increased. So we are checking in this. We are only for sharing the calculated shearing stress less than that of given allowable stress. The shear forked end of the shearing is safe. In 8th case, the failure of the forked end in the crushing. The forked end or a pin may be fail in the crushing due to the tensile load. We know that the area of resisting is crushing equals d1 into 2 times of B. The for crushing strength of the forked end d1 into 2 times of B into sigma c. For equating this to the load P, we have P is equal to d1 into 2 times of B into sigma c. From this equation, the induced crushing stress for the forked end may be checked. In this case, we are only checking of the crushing stress of the forked end. The checking of calculating value of sigma c is less than that of given allowable stress. The crushing stress in under forked end is a safe. So these are the main calculation of the checking for the forked end in the under tensile stress, shearing stress and crushing stress, and single high rod also checking in the tensile, crushing and shearing. So these are main cases we are checking of the failure of the forked end and single high. So in this case we are cross check. So and these are the main parts of the knuckle joint here. This is the single high. So this is the single high, this is the pin, and this is the fork. Okay, this is the double fork, double high rod, and the single high rod. This is the collar or knuckle pin. So these are the main parts of the calculation parts here. So D0, D1, this is the collar knuckle pin, and is the single high. So this is the double high. So these are the main calculation for using of this is the load applying of P, and this is the tensile load applying on P. This is the collar pin, and calculating of the diameter of the D in the knuckle pin. So these are the main parts of the knuckle joint to calculate each and every parts of the in this case. You go for how to calculate failure of the solid rod in tension. So solid rod tension is these are the double rod end. This is the double rod end. This is the knuckle pin, and this is the single high rod. In this case, the tensile load we are acting on the both the side. In this case, so checking tensile load is acting on the same. Whether checking of a solid rod is a safe or not. In this case, we are checking of the tension in solid rod. Second case, we are failure of the knuckle pin in shear. So this is the knuckle pin. So whether it is a shearing is under shear is safe or not, we are checking here. This is the knuckle pin. So calculation with this under the both the sides, tensile, compression and tensile we are sharing here. So whether it is a safe or not, failure of the pin in safe under condition we are checking here. And third case, failure of the single eye rod in the tension. This is a single eye rod. In this case, we are checking in the tension, crushing, and shear stress. So in this case, we are checking for small tensile load. This is the F, and is the load acting on the load. So on the both the sides, so tensile is acting. So whether it is we are checking here in the failure of the single eye rod in the tension condition, whether it is safe or not. In fourth condition, the failure of the single eye or rod in shearing. So this is the single eye rod in shearing. Under shearing, whether it is safe or not, we are checking, cross checking of the in this equation. So shear failure here. So in this condition, we are cross checking of the calculation purpose. And these are the free body diagram of the forces of the knuckle joint. This is the free body diagram. So this is the double fork end. This is the collar knuckle pin. So and is the single eye rod, and each one on calculations. So this is the single eye, this is the D, and is P load acting on this tensile load, and P by 2, this is the both the sides acting on the tensile and compression loads. Is also load acting on the both the sides. These are the free body diagram of forces acting on the knuckle joint. So these are the knuckle joint assembly. After completion of the whole assemble parts, single eye rod, double fork end, and collar, knuckle pin, and taper pin, where after completion of the assembly, we are seeing this calculation purpose of the knuckle joint assembly parts. So this is the observe here, knuckle joint assembly in clear and front view, and this is the top view. So this is the top view, octagonal section, iron sections, taper pin calculation, and each and every one calculations to clearly explaining here, and what is the length of the pin and what is the length of the fork end, diameter of the each and every one will observe here. This is the joint assembly joint for knuckle joint. So we go for so multiple choice questions here. So neatly observe and carefully observe here and answer your questions. Okay, so question number 1 we are is here, which of the is not a related to the knuckle joint. So question once again I will repeat here, which of the is not a related to the knuckle joint. First one, failure of the solid rod in tension, failure of the solid rod in shear, failure of the solid rod in crushing, and failure of the key. Which one is not related to the knuckle joint? Guess your answers and keep in your mind. I will give the int questions and key answers in the end of this session. Okay, so carefully observe which of the is not a related to the knuckle joint. Okay, so options here A, B, C, D. So cross check. Okay, so guess your answers. So we'll go for a second question here. Question number 2, find the thickness of the single eye in the knuckle joint. So is equal to T is equal to 1.5 times of D. So I will once again repeat the question here and carefully observe. Find the thickness of the single eye in the knuckle joint. Option A, T is equal to 1.5 times of D, and option B, T is equal to 1.2 times of D, and option C, T is equal to 2 times of D, and option D is equal to T is equal to 3 times of D. So these are the options. Guess your answers and keep in your mind, and we will give the end of this session. I will give the key answers. And third question is, the outer diameter of the eye in the knuckle joint is. A is options. I will repeat the question here. The outer diameter of this eye in the knuckle joint is option A, D is equal to 2 times of D, and B, option B is equal to capital D is equal to 3 times of D, and option C, D is equal to 4 times of D, and option D is equal to 5 times of D. This is the options we given. So guess your answers and calculating purpose or using diameter of the single eye joint. So guess and rate your answers. Check your answers in the end of this session. And fourth question here, it is not a part of the knuckle joint. So in knuckle joint, some of the parts is there, so it is not, one of the part is not in the knuckle joint. First one, option A, fork end, second B, high end, and third one is key, and fourth one is the knuckle rod. So which one is not the part of the knuckle joint? So guess your answers. So keep in your mind, I will give the key answers and cross check. Question number 5. So the valve rod in steam engine is connected to an eccentric rod by, I will repeat the question here. The valve rod in steam engine is connected to an eccentric rod by A is equal to quarter joint, option B is equal to bolted joint, option C is the knuckle joint, option D is the universal coupling. So guess your answers and cross check. We will end up the session. We will give the key answers, cross check your answers. Okay, key answers here. So first one question for 1D, option D is the correct answer. For second question, option A is the correct answer. For third question, option A is the correct answer. For fourth question, C is the correct answer. And fifth question, C is the correct answers. So these are the key answers for your crossing checking of your answers. So this is the end of this session. Thank you one and all for your valuable session. Thank you. So these are our team members for supporting this completing of this successful session. Thank you one and all.